Welcome back to our channel, fellow Port Charles addicts. Today is Friday, a beautiful day to dive deep into the absolute chaos unfolding on our screen. Grab your coffee, settle in, and let's break down the madness of this latest episode together. I literally cannot believe they did that. I am completely losing my mind over the absolute audacity of Rick Lansing. I mean, we need to talk about this right now before I completely explode. Rick barging into Elizabeth's house? Let's just set the scene, because it is the most ridiculously soapy, toxic, classic Rick Lansing moment we have seen in years. Rick shows up at Liz's place, and he is holding an engagement ring box. An engagement ring. He is hyping himself up, probably practicing his big romantic speech in his head, thinking he is about to sweep Elizabeth off her feet and secure his happily ever after. But what does he see through the window? Dante Falconeri, on Liz's sofa, with his pants off. And of course, because Rick is Rick, he doesn't knock. He doesn't ask questions. He doesn't use a single ounce of logical reason. He just goes into full-blown, raging, red alert jealousy mode and barges into the house. I was screaming at my screen. Dante has a knee injury. Elizabeth is a registered nurse. She was literally just playing Florence Nightingale, checking on his knee, doing her actual job as a medical professional, and Rick immediately assumes they are having some passionate affair right there on the living room furniture. Context is everything, but Rick Lansing doesn't care about context. He only cares about his own massive insecurity. We've been watching this show for years, and remember when they tried this redemption arc with Rick in the past? Yeah, didn't work then either. He is fundamentally broken when it comes to trust. He sees Liz having a completely innocent, close moment with Dante, and instead of trusting the woman he supposedly wants to marry, he completely loses his grip on reality. It is so frustrating to watch because it is just so typical. But at the same time, I am absolutely living for the drama. And can we talk about Elizabeth's reaction for a second? Yes, Liz, stand your ground. I was cheering so loudly when she refused to toss Dante out of her home just because Rick's jealousy was flaring up. She pushed Rick to calm down, explained the knee injury, and made it crystal clear that Dante is her guest and he is not going anywhere. Period. End of discussion. I love this strong, independent, take no prisoners Elizabeth. She is not putting up with Rick's toxic masculinity or his possessive tantrum. She doesn't view this as a big deal because it isn't a big deal. So Rick is the one who stomps off, engagement ring still burning a hole in his pocket. Good riddance. But wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. After Rick leaves, Liz vents to Dante. She's sitting there probably exhausted, worrying that Rick's jealousy is going to send him back off the rails. And she's right to be worried. A spiraling Rick is a dangerous Rick. We all know what he is capable of when he feels backed into a corner. But the silver lining here? Liz and Dante are bonding. They are having these deep, vulnerable conversations while he's icing his knee. I know some people are loving the idea of a Liz and Rick reunion, but personally, I am way more invested in the sparks flying between Liz and Dante. Could they be the next big super couple? The foundation is being laid, and I am entirely here for it. Okay, moving across town, because the drama does not stop. Josslyn Jack. We need to talk about Josslyn. I am sorry, but she is absolutely spitting facts right now. She tracks down Jason and gives him a massive warning about Britt West. You give her enough time, she's going to sell you out. All caps for emphasis. Josslyn is right. I know Britt has her fans, and I used to love the Britch, but let's be real. Britt is a walking liability. She has a history of self-preservation that always leaves collateral damage. Jason just made the monumental decision to leave the mob. He wants to be a father to Danny. He survived that hellish WSB black site in Jakarta, and he is trying to piece his life back together on a legitimate. He does not need Britt's baggage dragging him back down into the mud. Josslyn sees this. Josslyn sees everything right now. And Josslyn knows a thing or two about betrayal and devastating loss. I mean, Cyrus Renault murdered Dex. Cyrus killed Sam and Dex. And Josslyn's entire world was shattered into a million pieces. That trauma changed Josslyn. It pushed her into the WSB. It made her harder, sharper, and far more cynical. She looks at Britt and sees a ticking time bomb. She's trying to protect Jason because Jason is family, and she cannot bear to lose anyone else to a betrayal. I love seeing Josslyn step up like this. She's not a naive kid anymore. She's a trained operative who sees the board clearly. Speaking of Josslyn's new life, Anna Devane is playing matchmaker? Am I seeing this right? Anna helps Josslyn and Dr. Tristan Roberts exchange introductions. Tristan is the new cardiac surgeon, but we all know he's heavily tied to the WSB and has his own dark, secretive past. Is this a love connection brewing? Josslyn has been so focused on her career and her grief over Dex, but maybe Tristan is exactly the kind of complicated, spy-adjacent guy she needs right now. Or maybe it's a terrible idea. I'm contradicting myself, I know. I just want Josslyn to be happy, but a WSB romance sounds like a recipe for absolute disaster. But I'll definitely be watching every single second. Okay, back to the point. Carly Spencer. Can we talk about Carly giving Lulu parenting and relationship advice? I laughed out loud when this scene started. But honestly, Carly is making total sense. Carly discovers something and gives Lulu some genuinely good advice. I'm telling you, it's the best thing you can do for yourself, Carly tells her. Carly realizes that Lulu still loves Dante. Deep down, Lulu would probably want to build a life with him again if she could. But more importantly, Carly is trying to establish some peace between Lulu and Valentine Cassadine regarding Charlotte. Lulu is clashing with Valentine over Charlotte, and it is exhausting to watch. Lulu has been so overprotective, trying to block Valentine from Charlotte's life, treating him like a monster. But Carly knows that keeping a Cassadine away from his daughter is a losing battle. Valentine is a free man now, he's back in town, and Charlotte adores him. If Lulu keeps pushing, she's going to alienate Charlotte completely. Carly is basically telling Lulu to get honest with herself, get honest with her exes, and stop fighting a war she can't win. I never thought I'd say this, but Carly is the voice of reason. Listen to her, Lulu. Carly is dating Valentine, so of course she wants to smooth things over, but her logic is actually flawless. And guess who Lulu's meeting with next? Rick Lansing. Yes, the same Rick who just stomped out of Liz's house in a jealous rage. Rick eventually meets up with Lulu and pitches a plan to ruin Liz's bond with Dante before it grows any stronger. This is so messy. Rick wants Lulu's help to sabotage Liz and Dante. Lulu is taken aback by Rick's big news and his pitch. But will she agree? Part of her still wants Dante, so she might actually team up with Rick. A Rick and Lulu alliance of jealousy and sabotage? I am dreading it, but I also kinda can't wait to watch the train wreck unfold. It is the ultimate soapy betrayal, and if Lulu goes along with it, she is going to destroy whatever goodwill she has left with Dante. Now, let's talk about the heaviest, most emotional part of the episode. Curtis Ashford. My heart is in a million pieces for this man. He rejected the plea deal, he fought in court, and now he is preparing to begin his sentence at Pentonville. Alexis Davis meets up with him to offer some guidance, and it is one of the most powerful, gut-wrenching scenes. Alexis knows what it's like to lose your freedom. She has been inside those walls. She looks Curtis in the eye and warns him not to let bitterness consume him for Desmond Ashford. If you let yourself lean into that, you may never come home to Des. That line. It gave me absolute chills. Alexis is warning him that Pentonville changes people. It hardens you. It strips away your humanity if you let it. If Curtis goes in there angry at the world, angry at Isaiah, angry at the sheer injustice of it all, he will lose his soul. He has to survive for his newborn son, Desmond. Curtis is trying to remember Alexis's words of caution, but we all know Pentonville is a war zone. It is a place where good men go to break. I am so terrified for him, and I just want him to come home to Portia and his baby. And speaking of Isaiah again, what exactly is his game? He's having a conversation with Portia Robinson, and he suddenly has an idea. He promises there might be some helpful plan, something he can do to help make things easier regarding Curtis's prison transition. Wait a minute. Isaiah is the one who sued Curtis. Isaiah's testimony is a huge reason Curtis is in this mess. Why is he suddenly trying to help? Is the guilt eating him alive? Or does he have some ulterior motive to look like the hero to Portia? Portia is so vulnerable right now, juggling a newborn and a husband going to prison. If Isaiah is playing games with her emotions, if he is trying to swoop in and take Curtis's place while Curtis is locked up, I will absolutely riot. I do not trust Isaiah as far as I can throw him. This entire episode was a masterclass in shifting dynamics and emotional warfare. Every single character is standing at a major crossroads. Rick is letting his darkest, most jealous demons win. Liz is finding her strength and setting boundaries. Josslyn is fully embracing her WSB instincts and trying to protect her family. Carly is playing the unlikely peace, and Curtis is facing his darkest hour as the prison doors prepare to slam shut. I've been emotionally invested in this show for so many years, and it's episodes exactly like this that remind me why I can never, ever look away. The writing is firing on all cylinders, pulling us in a dozen different directions, making us scream at our televisions, and leaving us desperate for the next episode. Will Rick's toxic sabotage destroy Liz and Dante before they even begin? Drop your wildest theories in the comments below, smash that subscribe button, and let's survive this Port Charles chaos together.